Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And today's card is a masculine theme for our Project Share Project blog hop. So myself, Heather, Jill and Jez do our monthly blog hop. You'll see us share projects every week over on our blogs, but this time it's a hop. We're all using the same theme. And I for one find men's cards really challenging. So last month it was vintage again, not my bag, and then this time around we've got the boys. So it is a challenge to do cards for men. But what I saw was an opportunity to use this stamp set, which I've never used. It was a real top seller in the catalogue, and everyone was buying it and everything, and I actually resisted it until it started, until I found out it was going over into this year, and I thought, well, okay, let's give it another whirl and see what we can create with it. So yeah, this is my first proper play with this stamp set. I haven't got a finished sample, but I've got something that we're heading towards, okay, which I might sort of tweak and twerk a little bit, okay, so to create this sort of really nice background. And then we'll find a sentiment to put on top. So that's kind of where we're aiming. So what I've already got out is all the stamps there on the blocks, and then all those foliage. So I've used all but two of the stamps, I think. There's three. There's two boulders and like a speckly sort of riverbed kind of pebbled stamp. So I've pretty much got them all out. To use. They're all mounted up on blocks, and then I've got this piece of basic white, and this is shorter than it normally is, so what did I cut this to? It's 3.5 by 5.25 then. Yep. And eventually we're going to put it onto a crumb cake card base, so I wanted a bit more of the crumb cake to come through on the border, so that's the size we're working with. So I'm going to pop that out the way just for a second. Okie dokie, and then we'll have these. So I'm actually going to start with the C because I want the horizon, if you like, to kind of be that sort of central point, and then everything else can work around it. And what you'll see when I was just having a look at this and playing about with it, I wanted to get sort of this sort of gradient of colour. So here we go with that then. So on that one it's Tahitian dyed and Coastal Cabana. I do like Coastal Cabana as a kind of moody sea kind of colour, but I'm thinking that maybe we go a little bit sort of moodier and go with Lost Lagoon instead and make it a bit sort of darker, because it is supposed to be kind of a sunsetty kind of image, and kind of a bit bright. So let's go with Lost Lagoon, and we'll start off with that. And what I'm going to do is actually just put some ink on the top portion of that, like so. Just going to put that to one side just for a second, and then I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm just going to sort of spread that out a little bit over the stamp, but not all the way to the bottom. And that will just sort of soften that sort of definition. So like I say, I'm supposed to be making my horizon here, so let's put that there. Oh, it's went a bit crooked then. Okay, and do you know what? If it doesn't come out quite right, I don't think that matters. We're going for something a little bit more kind of rustic. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our Coastal Cabana ink pad. I'm going to flip that round. And in fact, I'm just going to catch the edge of that there and pop some Coastal Cabana on. And again, with the brush, we can just blend that edge out all the way to the bottom. Use a sponge dauber as well, if you've got those. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter if this doesn't line up perfectly over the top of the other one. So I'm going to prop that in there. Okay, so now we've got this lovely kind of gradient blue-green sea. Okay, so I hope that kind of comes across okay on the camera. Okay, so that was Coastal Cabana and Lost Lagoon that are combined there. And now we want to drop in the sky. Now I actually quite liked the combination I had here. That was actually Lemon Lolly and Calypso Coral. Okay, so again I'm going to use the two colours to do this. So we're going to use the Lemon Lolly first. I'm not sure it matters which way round we use this stamp. So again, I'm just going to ink the half of this and just use this brush just to soften that edge just a little bit. And pop that in there. Very, very subtle. Not as bright as the original card, but that's fine. And then here's Calypso Coral. So again, much darker colour. So we're not going to need much of it. And again, we'll bring in a brush and we'll just bring that down to where that residual yellow ink was. Okay. And again, doesn't matter if we don't line it up perfectly. It's all going to blend in together anyway. Just nice firm pressure on that, and there we have our gradient of our sky. But I think that I'm really pleased with how that's turned out actually. Okay, so our combo for the earth then, I'm actually going to pull out. Yeah, I'm going to go early espresso. This isn't what I used before. I used pecan pie and crumb cake, but I think what we'll do is we'll use early espresso and pecan pie. And now for this one, I'm just going to use that ink, blend it again, covering most of the stamp this time because we're using it a number of times. So we're going to drop that in at that sort of seashore level there, that darker colour. Okay, then I'm going to do the same pecan pie, a bit of ink, blend it on. You get a really nice result. These are distinctive stamps, and I think you do get a really nice look when you use a blending brush to just sort of move that ink about and get it nice. And they work best with thin layer of ink, and if your ink pads are quite new on the moist side, then I think you lose some of the detail. And I'm just doing a third one there. So we've just got this idea of that there's like sort of dunes or whatever on there. Okay, doesn't that look pretty? Okay, so that's early espresso and pecan pie that we've used for that. And then we've got all of these lovely foliage kind of elements here. Okay, played with the colours a couple of times on this. Okay, and I think the winner is going to be a combination of grey granite and pebbled path. That's what we're going to use. We're using grey granite first. Oops, almost dropped the whole lot then. At least the project wasn't in the way, huh? So grey granite's going to be the first one to drop in these nice long wreaths, kind of away from the edge a little bit, and slightly different heights like that. And then we're going to use the pebbled path, which is a little bit darker, but still kind of more of a warm grey than a and we're going to drop in these brushes, I think they are, like so, and then they've got this little teeny tiny one. We'll just sort of continue those grasses along there. I don't think we need any more than that. You can overdo it a little bit sometimes, I think, which I found when I was making my samples. Okay, so that's the basis of the card today. I'm tempted to take off another 1/8 of an inch off this side and the top, just to balance it a little bit. Just feel like it's ended up a little low and to the right, so I'm just going to take off 1/8 of an inch. As long as you take the same amount off two sides, your proportions will stay the same. There we go, that's centred that a little bit better, I think. Okay, that's great. But that looks really, really nice. The temptation is to add some blending over the top of this, but I don't think I want to. Just toying with the idea of whether I need a layer of early espresso behind that. Let's see if I can find a piece of cardstock. Oh, that's right. I think my early espresso is in a different pile, so just give me 1 minute. No, they're not in there. Let's just go to my... Oh man, have I not got any early... Right, okay. Have I not got any early espresso card left? Huh. Maybe we won't do that then. What would pecan pie look like? Let's grab some of that. Just feel like I need something just to help it pop from the edge a little bit. Okay, and now I'm thinking, do I want... Okay, we'll go with the pecan pie as the layer. When I'm cutting into a full sheet of cardstock, I still cut it this way so that that piece can still be used as a card base. So what was our thing? It started off as 3.5 by 5 1/4, and I've just taken off some. So if I cut it at 3.5 by 5 1/4, it's going to be a really skinny border, but it'll be a border. Go crafting on the fly. There we go. We can do this. See? So it's only going to be like a I think that does make all the difference, if I'm honest. I really do. Okay. Could go around this with some early espresso ink if you wanted to, so you could kind of have that kind of depth. And whilst this might seem in real life, it just sharpens that edge a little bit. Probably hard to see on camera. Okay, let's stick this down. Get those borders at the bottom even, which means the top sorts itself out. And we'll pop this on. So really simple. I think I'd like to say that this was more of a gender neutral card actually. And then we just need our sentiment on. So I've got this one from Wonderful Thoughts. Okay, and that comes with a whole set of dies as well. Because what I don't really want to do is cover up a whole heap of my beautiful stamping, really. So what I'm thinking is I could use the pecan pie again, as it was the accent colour. I just realised I've just stacked all my ink pads on my stamping, cut and emboss platform. So let's just grab that. So let's grab a scrap out of the scrap bin. That's going to be big enough for that. That looks about right. So pecan pie, just to keep it kind of in keeping with the rest of the design, really. And then we've got these cute dies. So you just want to line that up over the top, hold it in place with a bit of, so in my case that is washi tape that's been in the stash for quite some time. There's like various low tack tapes on the market that you can get hold of, or post-it notes work, or whatever you've got. Okay, so this is going to be super subtle on the back here. I'm going to need some mini dimensionals for this. It's a bit on the skinny side, isn't it? One just fits on the end there, that's cute. So it's got some rigidity. Now before I take off those, let's just see. Yeah, I think that's okay, you know. I was thinking it might get lost on the background. But that's looking okay to me. And then I'm just umming and ahhing about whether I want to sort of, I was going to call it a poodle loop. Because we do have, in the basics, I think this one's actually very vanilla. And whether just a bit of texture wouldn't go amiss on here. You know, just a little bit of something that will just sort of draw your eye in on the, I might need those again, so just pop those there. So, we know it's going to go around there somewhere. So if we pop some Stampin' Seal on there, stick our end down like so, and then we can just wrap that a couple of times, and then go this way, sticking it down into that adhesive and then cutting off that excess without cutting anything else. And then we can use our sentiment just to cover up that spaghetti in the middle. A little bit of wet glue is probably going to help keep all this in place and stuck together. It'll dry nice and solid. So just a little bit of that over the top, making sure we're covering all that sticky stuff. And we'll just pop that on there. And you might want to just leave that with a block over the top until it sets completely. Okay, now it's up to you whether you think your chap can do some bling or not. But you know, they've got these nice matte gold sequins, they're quite cute. I think they're quite sort of subtle, but add something without being too OTT. just sort of helps bring it all together. Yeah, I think that was a good addition. Entirely up to you where you want to stop before you think it's starting to get into the realms of too fancy. But I don't know. I think the guys can. Oh, they're going to misbehave now. I'll put those back in a minute. Okay, but that's my card for today for our masculine theme, and I've actually surprised myself and quite enjoyed creating that. And I think those that stamp set's quite fun to work with actually, just to build up a really cute background and a simple sentiment over the top. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Don't forget to check in the description, click over to my blog, and there you'll find links to everybody else's. So so we've got Heather, who's stampwithnelly.com. We've got Nigeza Creates, that's Jez, and then we've got Paper Days of Crafting with Jill. Okay, thanks ever so much everybody. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.